Thank you for joining. This is the ODG for Disability Impairment Determination Criteria tutorial. My name is Pam Bloom-Puglisi, and I'm the Senior Product Owner here at ODG by MCG. I've been a nurse for over 30 years, and I'm really excited to share this new information with you today. So where can you find it? The impairment determination criteria are part of the new ODG for Disability system that will be delivered in a web-based user interface. Arriving later this year, the IDC will be automatable for real-time assistance in claim determination processes inside your claims management systems from a state-of-the-art application programming interface, or API. ODG for Disability and the impairment determination criteria are designed to help clinicians and disability claim handlers holistically approach your initial and ongoing claim determinations. Our tools will help you manage and facilitate return to work for short or long-term disability claims by providing reliable, consistent, evidence-based treatment and duration guidelines, our impairment determination criteria, and resource optimization with the long-term disability predictor. So what can ODG for Disability do for you? We're here to really help with forecasting and impacting outcomes. We do this by focusing on 4 key areas. Let's start at the top. First, we have durations. We need to know what is the expected duration for this claim based on their medical condition, both physiologically and typical. We have enhanced clinical content. Here you will find very valuable tools such as the return to work prescription, an overview of that medical condition, special interventions when there's a delay in recovery, and when to consider additional expensive resources such as an IME or peer review. Next is the impairment determination guidelines. This is a section that's going to help you determine if the claimant has an inability to perform their specific work duties based on their physical demand level. And finally, there's the LTD predictor. This helps you with what is the likelihood that this claim is going to convert from short-term disability over to a long-term disability based on a lot of different criteria, including their STD plan. When creating ODG for Disability, we understand impairment determinations are really a 2-step process. First is contractual, looking at those plan provisions. Did someone file on time? Did they meet their elimination period? Are they actively at work and receiving appropriate care? And other exclusions. We leave this part to you. We're here to help you with determining total disability on claimants that have serious health conditions, illnesses, injuries, and other things like pregnancy. When making your initial or ongoing claim determinations, ODG for Disability provides duration tables, which are estimates of how long it may take a claimant to recover from their medical condition. These are displayed in best practice, average, and maximum duration days. It's important to follow your company's policy for which target they want you to use. We all know that sometimes things don't go as expected, so we have another section where you can refine your claim to include claim-specific conditions that you may be seeing that are impacting recovery. When you add these conditions, such as depression or opiate use, you'll get a new idea of how long this claim may take to resolve. We also have a section on capabilities and activity modification for restricted work. So based on the primary diagnosis, we have a suggestion box for you with different restrictions and limitations that you can propose to the provider, which may help you get them released to modified duty if they're not quite ready to return to full duty work just yet. So in making any determination, it's always important to take a holistic approach. We know many people who are working claims may not have a clinical background, others do, but maybe this claim is not in their area of specialty. So ODG for Disability has 3 targeted areas for you to focus on. First is subjective findings. These have to be considered. Many cases go to litigation because the subjective complaints were completely disregarded. So we need to look at how often is the claimant reporting those symptoms, how severe is their pain, and are they able to perform activities of daily living. For physical exam findings, we're focusing in on what the claimant is able to do, looking at range of motion, specific tests for their condition, or has someone been admitted to a hospital. Diagnostic tests, we're looking for everything the doctor has ordered specific to their condition, such as lab tests, radiological exams, and any other tests. We also have a special section called Notes, where you'll find very valuable information about modified duty and safety-sensitive positions. So let's take a couple minutes for a quick product demonstration. So for today, let's focus on carpal tunnel syndrome. I'm also going to highlight some of the main features that are going to help you when you're managing your claims. Here at the top, we have the durations. We have an A and a B value. A is for the average, this is what we're seeing in the data, and B is a best practice or physiologic recovery. Your company may have additional values that display here. Second is the enhanced clinical content. If you look at the left side, you'll see an index, and this is all of the specific areas that we're providing new clinical information to help you when you're managing your claims. All you have to do is click on the link and it'll take you directly to that section. On the right is the LTD predictor. This is the score that tells you the likelihood that your claim is going to transition from short-term to long-term disability. And finally, the impairment determination criteria. So it's here on the left, and if you click on the link, it'll take you directly to that section. So now you need to look at your claim and understand the physical demand level, or PDL, that your claimant has. So we've broken it into 3 subsections. Here at the top, we have criteria that would preclude someone from being able to do sedentary or light work. In the middle is the criteria precluding someone from being able to do medium work. And finally, just below that is the criteria precluding someone from heavy or very heavy work. For today, we're going to stay with the sedentary and light work. So remember, we talked about looking at the subjective findings, the physical exams, and the diagnostic tests so you can make a holistic assessment. This is where you're going to find that information. So under subjective findings, we have how often are their symptoms present? How many hours of the day is this affecting their life? And on a pain scale of 1 to 10, what are they rating their pain? We also want to look at important things like activities of daily living, and are they able to do those independently, or do they need help? For the physical exam findings, you'll notice here we've got a lot about range of motion and the physical exam. So if you don't know exactly what's normal, all you have to do is look at the values that you have in the documentation and compare them here. We'll also point out to you any specific orthopedic tests that are done for that condition, like for example, carpal tunnel has a Phelan's test. And then finally, under the diagnostic testing, sometimes you get this information in the documentation and it's great, and other times it's missing. So if this isn't in the documentation that you have, it'll give you a good starting place for what you need to ask that physician to send to you so you can make your decision. And finally, in the notes, we have some suggestions often for modified duty, like most employers are able to accommodate restrictions for someone who has a sedentary or light job. So work hard and try to get those modified duty return to work. Or safety sensitive work. If someone is a pilot or they drive a car or a vehicle for their employer, you're going to check into the safety sensitive comments as well. And basically you're going to use all this information and tie it together to make your determination so that you know it's based on the specific details for the claimant that you're working with. So thank you for joining us. ODG for Disability's integrated and actionable tools provide an exclusive one-stop location to foster fair and consistent claim handling practices with things like auto adjudication and assistance with assigning the right resources to the right claim at the right time. We hope you've enjoyed this session. If you need to learn more, please check us out at www.mcg.com/ODG.